Personally, the most stressful part for me was writing the outline, but I know a lot of people had trouble actually like writing the actual iSearch at the end.
The most stressful part would probably have to be the procrastinating that almost always happens, because the more you do it, the harder it gets to get it done on time, and the more stressful you become, and it really ends up being your own fault in the end.
Actually having the time management skills and figuring out, when to write it was my biggest challenge.
I would say more like the paper, just because I'm not very good at writing papers. That was for me. At least.
I would say the most toughest part about writing the iSearch is making sure that all your checkpoints are completed and done and turned in on time.
The most stressful part, well, for me personally, I was kind of not on the ball with colleges and stuff. Like, I still haven't applied because I've been researching and stuff. So, for me, the biggest issue was balancing, like, it was the stress between, balancing, looking for colleges and applying, and then also working on this project that determines whether or not you graduate. So, that was the toughest part.
If you don't pick a topic that you're interested in, you kind of just write about nothing and you get bored, and then you're like, oh, it's a million pages instead of 15.
Well, if you don't have any interest in the actual topic you're writing in, it makes it for a very dull and very long process of actually writing the iSearch.
So like when you're doing it last second, and you're trying to write about a topic that you don't really care about at all, it's going to be really hard. But if you're like actually really interested in what you're talking about, it'll just, it'll flow, and you could just not make stuff up, but like, just put it out there.
Definitely pick a topic you're interested in, because if you don't, you're gonna be writing a paper that's almost 15, 20 pages long. And if you're gonna write that much, you gotta be able to be interested in staying. If you're interested in something, you're most likely going to stay focused that entire time you're writing all 15 pages. And that's where the importance comes in.
If you don't find a topic that interests you, your whole semester is going to be very stressful.
And miserable. Yeah.
If you're not interested in your topic, it's hard to elaborate or just have any determination to actually write.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in your topic, it just like flows out of you and you can just like write endlessly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as like boring or difficult, and yeah, definitely not as forced.
I think just the page limit, because it seemed like a whole lot, and I didn't know how I was going to fill that much space with my own knowledge, and it was a lot easier than I thought it'd be in the end.
Oh, the interviews, because I didn't know who or where I'd go to interview anyone.
I think it was probably, when we first started, thinking how am I actually going to get this all done in just a semester?
Having to write 12 pages and then having to really take a stance on a controversial topic.
I think the speech process scares me the most.
Just the fact, like, how important it is to graduate was the most terrifying.
All of it. It's just the idea of the iSearch, because you hear about it from your freshman year, like, forward. So, and it never goes away. You do, like, a practice one your sophomore year and your junior year. Like, you always have, like, a practice iSearch speech in your years before, and then you actually go to do it, and you're, like, so overwhelmed. And it's not as bad, but it also is a lot at once.
I definitely thought it was scary, but finishing my binder was, like, probably the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And turning it in
Yeah.
made it worth it.
Yeah.
I've cried to my girlfriend a lot, especially over the phone, and she dumped me for it.
I just like took it one assignment at a time and just got it done on time and tried not to think about the end until it was there.
Comfort food. And lots of sleep.
Well, I wasn't really stressed, like, at all, until that last night, and then I freaked out, and I was like, I'm so stressed, but, like, the rest of it was relaxed, just kind of played chess with Andreas during class.
I've been setting aside time to like go to the library or a coffee shop or something to really focus on writing it or writing my speech.
Throughout the iSearch, dealing with stress, probably making sure I don't do much at one time. Making sure if I've done a couple pages that night, then just stop there. Don't overwork yourself. Make sure you give yourself time to ease into it.
I'm asking my teacher questions to help with the stress level.
Yeah, I basically just ask your teacher a lot of questions.
Or ask your peers, they'll give you a lot of good advice.
Tears were shed. Yeah, it was really stressful. We had a little group chat and we just
Oh,
like
yeah.
talked it out
That's
with each
true.
other.
Yeah,
And we
had
kind
group
of
chat.
built off of each other and like asked each other questions so we weren't always bothering our
That definitely
teacher.
helped.
Just to make sure you pick a topic that not only you're interested in, but one that has enough information.
Do not procrastinate, get everything done on time, and just try not to overwork yourself, get it done at a good pace.
Don't overreact, relax, it's not as bad as it seems, and just kind of face it head on and keep your time management skills ready.
Take comp instead of AP Lit because you have the whole time to write your iSearch.
Time management. Start your topic now. Start writing right away. Just kidding.
I would say think about your topics beforehand, because for me it was probably the hardest part was figuring out a topic that was interesting. So making sure you have that topic or even a backup, because I actually switched mine. Like
Yeah.
kind
And I
of
think there's so many things you can write about, but once you actually, someone sits down and asks you what do you want to write about, it's so hard to actually think of one. Because like the topics I came up with were from Google. Like I had literally Googled what should I, like controversial topics and issues, and it's so hard to come up with one on your own.
Probably don't be scared by the scale of it, and just make sure you have a core topic that interests you, and you'll write a good iSearch. There's no doubt.
Well, me and Mary Lee and then our two friends made a group message the night before when we were working on our iSearch, and we would put all our questions in there just so that we could get feedback from each other, and I thought it was actually really helpful.
Make sure you do everything on time. Yeah, don't put it off, because that's just one more thing you have to do.
Don't procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate. Don't do it.
Don't procrastinate whatever you do, because you'll regret it the night before.